We are getting ready to start our lesson on rounding day 2. So, after reviewing your work yesterday, here are some things that I noticed. 1, we understand rounding to the tens pretty well. When I looked at our work, what we're struggling with is rounding to the hundreds. And that's okay, because it's only day 2 of you ever rounding ever, all right? So it's going to take some practice, and it's okay. So the feedback that I gave back to you on Seesaw is fine. It's not a grade, it's not bad, it's just me noticing, hey, we need to practice this. Now, if you received feedback that said you need to practice, make sure that today you're asking questions if there's something that you don't understand, okay? That way we can make sure that we're grasping onto this concept and we're able to move forward appropriately, all right? Okay, to get us warmed up, I have a vocabulary that I think shows a pretty good example of rounding using a number line, okay? And that's gonna help us with our place value strategy that we're gonna look at today. So let's take a look at this video and really think critically about what it is teaching us.
Good evening. Welcome to the Roundabout Show with your host, Ronnie Rounder. You know, sometimes with numbers, you don't need an exact answer. You just want an estimate, a reasonable guess. But today, we're going to talk about rounding. We're here on the number line right now, and as a matter of fact, I see a number right over there. Hi, I'm 24 and I'm doing fine. Just hanging out here on the number line. I have to get rounded to the nearest 10 so I'm easier to work with. Now, let's begin. What I need to do is find which multiple of 10 that I'm closest to. On the number line, let's see who we've got. 30 is on the right.
Come on and take it to the top.
And 20 is on the left.
You wanna be down?
Whichever is closer is where I'm gonna round. 4 units from 20 and 6 units from 30, so I'll be rounding down to 20 in a hurry. I'll keep the number in my tens place, the 2, we know, and the rest of my digits will become zeros.
Hey, I'm 57. What about me? Where do I round to? I'm stuck in between 50 and 60. Wait, okay, I'll round up to 60, just 3 units away. Turn my tens place digit from a 5 to a 6. The 7 is a 0. Now I made the switch.
Right, but I'm 35, I don't know where to round. Should I go up or down, guys? I'm the same distance between 30 and 40. Where do I go? Who will support me? Don't worry, 35, it's cool. Thank goodness. For numbers like you, there's a rule. Okay. Numbers that end in 5 always get rounded up. So I'll go ahead and make the jump to 40. Yep. Rounding numbers, you know how we do. What's the place value that you're rounding to? Look right, 4 and under, you're going down, and 5 and above is going up until it's rounded. When you're rounding, you know how we do. What's the place value that you're rounding to? Look right, 4 and under, you're going down, and 5 and above is going up until it's rounded.
Hey, it's me, 483. I'm so high on the number line that I'm hard to see. Rounding to the nearest 10, that could be smooth, but for now, rounding to the nearest 100 is the move.
As it turns out, it's similar to what we've already learned about. You need to find the closest multiple of 100.
Between 4 and 500 is what I've discovered.
Since that's the place value you're trying to round to, look to the right.
Hey, 8, I found you. You're above 5.
So we're rounding up, bro. Your hundreds place bumps up 1.
The rest are zeros. So I can round to the nearest 100. That's wicked. But what if I want to get more specific? An estimate that's closer to who I really am.
Well, you could also get rounded to the nearest 10.
Now back on the number line is where you find me.
Between multiples of 10.
480 and 490.
And by now, you should already know.
I'm closer to 480, so I'm rounding down
The
low.
hundreds and tens digits stay the same.
While all my other digits have to make the change.
To a 0, so next time you're doing math, and the numbers don't need to be exact, we'll be rounding numbers. You know how we do. What's the place value that you're rounding to? Look right, 4 and under, you're going down, and 5 and above is going up until it's rounded. When you're rounding, you know how we do. What's the place value that you're rounding to? Look right, 4 and under, you're going down, and 5 and above is going up until it's rounded. All right, that's a wrap. Ronnie Rounder, that's me. Yeah.
All right, so we are taking a look at continuing rounding today. Levin, I see a question.
Is units a new vocab word?
Unit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So unit, it is a pretty important vocabulary word. Did you hear it a lot in that video? So unit is a word that describes a single digit or a single place value. So if we have a 10, that's a unit, okay, because it's 110. So it's showing how many of a singular item that we would have. When we say units on a number line, it's showing how many units away or how many spaces away from a benchmark number something is. So yes, unit is a great word to know. Very good. So I want you to be aware that as we start rounding today, that rounding is just a series of strategies. So I'm going to teach you a couple different strategies, and you're just going to use the one that works best for you. So there might be some strategy that you think, I do not get that, and that's okay. You don't have to use that one. What I'm going to do is on Seesaw, I've uploaded to your student journal folder in math the rounding strategies that we have learned so far, and I'll add the strategy that we learn each day. So far we have learned the rounding rhyme. When you determine your place value, you can say 4 or less, give it a rest, 5 or more, raise the score. Some of you really like this rhyme, and that makes sense to you because it sticks in your head. Use it. We've also learned just the rules. Some people are very logical and just need a set of steps to follow in the rules. I've put the rules expanded and the shortened version of them on here. We have also learned the rounding roller coaster. If you ever wish, man, I wish I had a blank roller coaster to ride on, you do now. So now you can go here and you can edit this and it will go into your journal. Today, we're going to learn how to use a place value chart to round. So this is another strategy to do the exact same skill that we learned yesterday. It's just a different way to practice, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a video from Mr. Mejia explaining how to use rounding in a place value chart, okay? This video is short, so we'll take some time to discuss after, but I really want us to focus because he's going to show us specifically how to round to the hundreds place. And the hundreds place is what we as a class were struggling with yesterday. All right, so let's make sure we're focused in. Alrighty, here we go.
Hey everyone, here's one way you can
See if that sound is all the way up. Yep. Check down here. Yep, okay.
round numbers that have 3 digits. First, let's draw out a place value chart to help us out. So to draw a place value chart, here's what you want to do. What I do is I like to draw a line like this and divide this line into 3 sections. Here are the hundreds, tens, and ones. Make sure to put all digits in their correct place value place. So 3 is in the hundreds, 2 is in the tens, and 6 would be in the ones. After that, it is a good idea to give yourself two decisions to round. Now, before we go into that, let's make sure that we're rounding in we're using the correct digit. Since the problem is asking you to round to the nearest 100, we're going to concentrate right here on the 3 and this digit because it's in the hundreds place. Now, when rounding, you always want to give yourself 2 choices. One choice, second choice. Now, you may be asking, what are those 2 choices? Well, here's what I suggest. Since we are working with the hundreds, put the 3 right here, or whatever number appears in the hundreds. Now, we're not actually working with 3. Since it is in the hundreds place, we had to make sure that we put its actual value, which is 300. And now you're asking me, okay, then what goes here? Well, it's good to think that we are in the hundreds place, so we want to stick to the hundreds. So what I like to do is I like to, for the other extreme, just add 100. Why? Because again, we're working with the hundreds. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 1 is 4. So my other extreme is going to be 400. Right there. 400. Now, you're probably asking me, which one do I choose? I mean, there's two of them. Which one do I choose? Which one do I round to? Which one do I round 326 to? The answer is, where we want to look at now is the tens place. The tens place is going to help us decide whether we go with 300 or we go with 400. The rule is, if this number, if this digit right here, the tens digit, is 5 or above, push up this way. You want to go up, forward. No, push forward. If this digit is 4 or below, go this way. As we can see, the 2 right here is less than 4. So we're going to make the decision to push back. So we want to round to the nearest hundred. 326 should be rounded to 300. Make sure to pause this video if you need to, and try it on your own. Follow these steps. See if that helps. See you.
All right, so we have an example from Mr. Mejia there. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera to show you that example one more time with a different number. So here's my blank piece of paper, or my blank seesaw, or my place value chart that Ms. Sousa so nicely provided. And this strategy is using a hundreds chart. So as Mr. Mejia showed us, we can divide this chart into our hundreds, our tens, and our ones, okay? We're being given the number, let's say 482, and we're rounding to the nearest 100. When we round to the 100, we need to have a benchmark number that says 100, okay? So 482, we have a 4 in our hundreds, an 8 in our tens, and a 2 in our ones. When we are rounding to the hundreds, our tens place to the right will tell us what to do. So on a number line, I need to establish my benchmark numbers. I say the first benchmark number when I say the name of this number, 482. So my first benchmark number is 400. Now, if I'm counting by hundreds, everybody, what comes after 400? Good, I saw your mouths say 500. That's correct. It's just like counting by ones. We just say 100 after it. 400, 500, okay? These are my two benchmark numbers. Because in between here, I know that I have 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480, and 490. 482 is going to be about right here. Okay, it's going to be about right here on the number line. I can see that this is closer to 500. Look at this. It's that short. If it had to go round to 400, look how long it would have to move. Whoa, that is so far away. So because my tens place has a value that is greater than 50, it's going to move forward or up to 500. So 482 rounds up to 500. Okay? What questions can I answer about this? I'm looking at the screen here. What questions can I answer? Because this is where we struggled. Terrence.
Can we try this if we have a piece of paper together?
Yes, that is why I am showing you how to create it. Okay, we'll do another one if you want to do it with me. That's a great idea. Any other questions? Okay. The biggest mistake that I saw yesterday on the rounding roller coaster was we wanted to count by ones when we were rounding to hundreds. When we're rounding to hundreds, we count by tens. Because if I were going to count by ones, I would have to get all of these little teeny tiny marks. Oh, I'd have to make 100 of these. That's gonna take forever, right? There's no way. So we count by tens. Those are a larger number to help us. So the biggest mistake that I saw yesterday was people correctly identified 800, but then they said 801, 802, 803, and listen to how silly this sounds. 805, 806, 807, 808, 809, 900. What? How did you go from 809 all the way up to 900? No way. That's why we count by tens. So 810, 820, 830, 840, 850, 860, 870, 880, 890. Oh, now 900. That makes sense because when counting by tens, we get back to 100. Okay, so when we are rounding to hundreds, we use tens, the tens place to help us. The ones place is too far away from the hundreds to be of any importance. Okay, I want to work one more out with you. So let's say we are given the number round 629 to the hundreds. So we're rounding to the hundreds place, right? According to this strategy today, I can create a place value chart. I'm going to place my hundreds, tens, and ones digit in the correct spot. There we go, sorry. So 600, 2 tens, 9 ones creates the number 629. I see some of you are writing, so I'll give you a moment to do that. So I have 629. Now I can create myself a shortened number line here. So I'm going to create a number line, and on that number line, I'm going to put my 2 benchmark numbers. We're rounding to the hundreds, so our benchmark has to be a 100 number. Round to the hundreds, benchmark a hundreds. We say the first benchmark number when we say the name. 629. So our first 100 is 600. Now, you guys know this. We're counting by hundreds. We just said 600. What comes after 600? Good. I see Terrence's mouth. Think. I don't see a lot of people. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. What comes next? 7. There you go. Good. 700. We're just counting by 1 with saying the 100 word after it. Okay? So on my number line, I've now shown the 2 benchmark numbers that this number is between. Okay? So what's important now is to identify where is 629 on this number line. Well, if I use my midpoint, which is always 50 between hundreds of 650, look at our tens place, guys. Is 2 going to be on this side of 50 or this side of 50? So I'm going to look at you and you say yes or no. Is it going to be over here, 20? Okay, is it going to be over here, 20? Good, I'm seeing we understand that it's smaller. If I were to guess, I would say it's about right there. This tells us that it's way closer to 600. It's only 2 tens away from 600. Look how short this distance is. It's a very short distance. Look how long this distance is. It is much closer to the lower benchmark number of 600, so we would say that we round down. Okay? So this is a visual representation of why rounding works. We can see the value of the digit that is helping us know where to round to. And when we place it on a number line, it's very easy to see, oh my gosh, this is so much closer to the smaller benchmark number, and it's so much farther from the larger benchmark number. Okay? What questions can I answer about this? Terrence.
I think we got this.
Good. I like the confidence. I'm all about it. The biggest thing to remember is that when you're rounding to the hundreds, you have to use your tens place, not your ones place. We look directly to the right, and the closest one is the bossy one now, right? So our tens are going to tell us whether it's closer or farther away from the benchmark numbers. Okay? All right. So again, one more time, inside of your journal from math, I've now uploaded all of the strategies that we've used. So if you like this strategy, here's a place value chart for you. If you prefer the rounding roller coaster strategy, here's one for you to use. It's the same skill, it's just a different way to do it, okay? You have an activity that has been released to you, and that activity is called rounding using place value chart. Mr. Mejia's video is here, as well as the directions that he reads to you. It says, watch the tutorial on how to use rounding a place value chart. We've done that. Complete the activity using the pencil or pen tool for each page. So let's look at what's expected of our work today. I can see over here automatically that I have 4 pages of work. So each page is a different problem. So I only have 4 problems. I'm going to complete the work exactly as we just did together. So on this page, I should be using my pencil or pen, as Mr. Mejia asked of me, and I should complete a hundreds chart. Hundreds, tens, and ones. I'm going to put these digits in their correct place value. Then I should create a number line that has my benchmark numbers, which are hundreds on either side. Okay? I will know what your answer is because you have put a circle around the correct benchmark number. If you do not circle the benchmark number like I did here, take a look at my screen, then I don't know what your answer is. If you don't have a circle, I see that you understand the benchmark numbers, but I don't know that you understand where it rounds to. So you have to put a circle around the correct benchmark number. Okay, so which one is it going to be? I will see this on each page. For 485, I will see it for 637, I will see it for 254, and I will see it for 712. Every page will have a hundreds, tens, and ones place value chart. Every page will have a number line with benchmark numbers. Okay? What questions can I answer about this expectation? You have been working on your round assignment. Anything that you did not complete with your group needs to be completed during the afternoon work time after lunch, okay? So you need to complete these 4 problems about rounding to the hundreds with the place value chart and the number line and get that turned in. This is your schedule for the rest of the day. You have lunch at 11:15 and your recess time. At 12 o'clock, I will be on Zoom. You can hop on here and I will help you out. So if you have any questions on any assignment at all, not just math, go ahead and hop on and I will help you out, okay? At 1:35, you have related arts with Miss Katowitz. Remember, she has that Bitmoji classroom link. You guys found it great yesterday. You're going to do the same thing today. At 2:20, you're back on here with me. Okay? So your responsibility is to complete this rounding assignment. If you get done early, I'd like you to continue practicing rounding by getting onto your Prodigy assignment, which I have given you rounding problems. Okay?